Wow. 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 I wish that I was just 6 months older. I probably could have been at Cornell to hear Morning Dew. Alas, I saw the Grateful Dead for the first time 6 months later. Englishtown, not even 6 months, 4 months. I saw the Jerry Garcia Band in July of 1977 down at Convention Hall in Asbury Park, and the Grateful Dead just a few months later for the first time at Englishtown. Here's a little Morning Dew story for you. Morning Dew was a crowd favorite during Dead & Co. And I love John's solos in Morning Dew, and I love Bob singing Morning Dew. And in about 2019, Bob seemed to get up to the microphone to do that last line in Morning Dew and cut off John's second solo. Right, so there's two big solos in Morning Dew. There's the first one, which is epic, and then there's the second one, which is super califragilistic, expialidocious, epic beyond anything. And when John Mayer has a hold of that guitar solo at the end of Morning Dew, it is transcendent. And then Bob would come up to the microphone and cut him off. So I saw Morning Dew on the set list in Boulder in 2019, and John was walking down the stairs to go on stage for the second set. And I looked at John and I said, "Don't let Bob cut you off at the end of that guitar solo in Morning Dew in the second solo." I said, "I need you to play that second solo like your life depends on it." And John did it, and he didn't let Bob cut him off. I'm not saying that I had influence over anything. I just planted a seed, and John Mayer made it blossom in such an epic way. And that is the magic of the Grateful Dead. And that is also the magic of Dead & Company. My name is Jay Blakesberg, and I am your guest host here on Grateful Dead Listening Party. This has been super fun to do. You can check out my Dead & Company book at my website, rockoutbooks.com. Get it for your loved one, get it for yourself, put it on your coffee table, share the magic. We're getting to the end of the show. I think I got a couple more songs to go. Mickey Hart often said to us, "No risk, no reward." What did he mean by that? Those have been words that I have tried to live up to, both in my professional career as a photographer, but also as a deadhead. What we were able to witness over so many decades of live music exploration with this band and all the bands that came after the Grateful Dead, Phil and Friends, Rhythm Devils, Wolf Brothers, Dead & Company, all of the bands, Billy and the Kids, the list goes on and on, Further, the other ones. When we explored this music, it was beautiful. Sometimes it was a bit messy and chaotic, but very frequently it was the adventure we all hoped it would be. That's where risk and reward came in. Every night when the lights went down and the crowd cheered, and you tasted that lysergic drip that was going down the back of your throat, and those of you that know what I'm talking about. You heard the first notes of a jack straw or a cold rain and snow. That is when all the weirdness of life melted away, literally, and the beautiful psychedelic swirl consumed you. We were all in this together. We were in the groove, the vibe, and 100% happy that all the decisions we made to be in that room on that night with those other deadheads and that band who were also all in, were ready to take that risk, because if it all clicked, the reward was like nothing else you have ever experienced.